Dan Willis here, and we're talking about piggybacking credit. Now, this is a little bit of a backdated technique to help boost your credit score. And let us just go ahead and describe it to you and tell you what it is, and then we're going to kind of provide some of the ins and outs. So this is how it works. Let's say I'm the person that's suffering with a less than perfect credit score, and let's say my dad has a great perfect credit. So I go to my dad and I say, hey, Dad, will you add me as an authorized user to your credit card account? And what this is going to do, if he says yes, what it's going to do is all the activity that he makes with that credit card, that's also going to be reported as if it were my activity in my account because I'm an authorized user. So that information, that activity will be reported to all three of the major credit bureaus. And because my dad has great credit and is using his credit responsibly, that would help to improve my credit situation and improve the information on my three credit reports, which would in turn improve my credit score. So this is the deal, though. This is what's happened. In 2007, there was a whole bunch of credit repair companies that just went crazy with this theory and this effective tool because it works. It works. Simple, plain and simple, it worked. And it works. But what they did is they would literally take Chris, who doesn't know Joe, and they would sell Chris's credit card authorized user to Joe for cold hard cash. It turned it into a business transaction. The credit insiders and the government found out about it, and they said, hey, we don't like this because it's not really legitimate. I mean, it's a way to kind of cheat the system. And they said, all right, we're going to change the credit scoring model. We're going to make sure that this doesn't apply anymore. And so essentially this practice and this way of improving your credit fell out. It just got forgotten about. And that was about 2007. I was recently talking to a gentleman who works in this industry, credit repair. He's an attorney that works in this credit correction. This is what he does and has been doing for a long time. And what he told me, and take this with a grain of salt, but he told me that the credit scoring systems and models are so difficult to change, and the banks have these so ingrained that really this practice and this idea of piggybacking credit it still works today. Even though they say it doesn't, he tells me that it still works today, and chances are it'll probably work forever. But the big thing was just too many people were doing it is what it sounds like. And he basically told me that the banks, it's just way too difficult for them to go and change this. Even the credit scoring systems, FICO, Fair Isaac, the person that gives you your credit rating, credit score, it is just way too convoluted and too difficult for them to really fix this glitch. Instead, it's much easier for them to put out a whole bunch of PR, press releases, just like they've somehow convinced America, including talking heads on TV, that you have to live with bad credit for a minimum of 7 years. That's total BS. It says a maximum of 7 years. There's no minimum amount of time that bad credit has to stay on your credit report. So anyways, piggybacking credit, though, is a way of using somebody with good credit. I would encourage you, if you do use this, to use a friend or family member, someone that you trust, and using their behavior and their good credit to help boost up and pull up your bad credit and your past mistakes, or, if you're a victim of identity theft or whatever the crisis may have been that caused, the bad credit to happen. And take this with a grain of salt. It's possible that it might not work forever, but according to the attorney that we spoke with who works in this day in and day out and has for a long, long, long time and continues to today, he told us this stuff will apply today, it'll apply tomorrow, and he actually is taking classes with some of the I'm not 100% sure it's Fair Isaac, but it was people that actually do the credit scoring. And it can't really be removed. It's not like an easy fix. It's not like pulling a button off of your shirt or something. It's much more difficult than that. So if you're having some struggles or want to do everything you can or as fast as you can, this might be something worth trying, assuming you have some trustworthy friends or associates or family members with some good credit. So, and keep in mind, let us not neglect to mention this, if they don't pay their bill or they aren't using their credit responsibly or a crisis happens in their life, if they are not doing what they should do and they're getting bad credit, that's going to get smacked on your credit report too. So make sure that it's somebody you really, really, really feel comfortable with. But this is just one tool that you can use. No guarantees that it'll work, but I'd bet you a couple bucks that it does work and will work and continue to work. So if you have a good opportunity to use this, you might want to investigate it and look into it and try it. You know, you've got nothing to lose. Of course, remove any negative derogatory information from your credit report. Try and build some good credit with some new credit lines and even with your existing lines by just making on-time monthly bill payments. Try and keep some available credit, best done with unused credit, unused open credit on your credit card. Please visit the link in the description below. We're going to include a link over to an article at our website, yourbadcreditcard.net. We currently have a free report. We're just giving away the 7 super simple steps to clean your credit. Have a fantastic afternoon. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and looking forward to talking to you again soon.